Hello and welcome to Fatboss Weekly, Season 2, Episode 20.
Hello.
20 already.
Yeah, it's going well.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and for the people who don't know, Fatboss Weekly is mine and Lawrence's weekly news show. We talk about a bunch of World of Warcrafty news and any other sort of gaming news that's important to us.
And talking about other games,
yeah,
we're going to hit back on Diablo. Last week we was talking about the anniversary buff that they ran in for the second anniversary, which gave you the double legendary chance drop, well, 100% more. Chance to get a legendary, and also with that buff was the double Nephilim Rift shard things. The key, I can't remember the fucking name of them. But yeah, that ended on Thursday at 5 AM. I was actually awake when it ended. It's like, no, why?
But
the legendary buff is now implemented into the game full time.
What? So they're just giving you an extra 100%?
Yep.
Forever.
Yep, it's staying permanently in the game.
It seems like they're kind of like, oh, don't go, guys. Look, more orange items.
Well, to be honest, I'll be completely honest with you. When I was playing throughout this whole time that they had the buff, it was fucking amazing. It was like, holy shit, I'm getting so many legendaries. And as soon as it finished, I didn't realize that, you know, they actually implemented it into the game again full time. I just stopped playing the moment it went.
Yeah.
And I was just like, well, I can't really be bothered to play now because I'm not going to get as many legendaries. And that's when I then found out, holy shit, it's still here.
And it will be here forever.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Nonetheless, but it does seem like a bit like I don't know what the numbers are for people still playing Diablo 3, but I imagine they are nowhere.
Oh, sure. I'm sure they're going down, but this legendary buff that they've given does feel a little bit more natural than maybe it was before, because it was a little bit frustrating, especially for someone who plays on your own and you don't multi-box like I do. I mean, even when I multi-box, I do actually get, like, sessions of half an hour I don't get a legendary. Yeah. Which is pretty insane for 4 accounts, whereas now I'm pretty much guaranteed at least one in half an hour.
Good.
Although I'm sort of averaging one every 2 minutes for the buff, which is
fucking hell.
Pretty retarded, yeah.
So
either yeah, legendary buff.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
Here to stay. Now moving on to WoW news.
Like 5.4.8, right? I heard about this like the day before we made Fatboss Weekly last week. So it was
yeah, like, we were talking about it last week.
Yeah, which was on the Friday, and then like it just came out this week. It's just like, oh right, yeah, okay, here you go, bye.
We actually mocked it by saying that it wasn't going to come out until like some point in July.
Yeah, and it was like,
and then suddenly it was out the same week that they sort of announced it.
So obviously the most important thing that happened in this patch, like just going over it briefly, is of course that you had those 2 extra like item upgrade slots, so it will give you like 8 extra item level in all your gear. So I don't know about you, Lois, but I logged on, I was like, oh, get everything upgraded.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
It's always nice to have extra item level, especially when you've sort of been on the same item level for quite a long time. There's not really any upgrades for my Shaman at least.
Yeah.
I mean, the only upgrades are like literally Warforged gear, and it's like 3 items I need or something like that. Very, very little. So being able to upgrade all your gear like that is pretty fun. Spending 3,000 Valor in one go, well,
4,000.
4,000, yeah, using the
timeless style thing.
Yeah,
because I went straight there. I actually had 30k coins just out of like pure luck. Didn't farm for it or anything. I just went there and I had the perfect amount of coins. Yeah, so I picked up all that. I think it's really cool. Like the assurance of consequence, I thought would be quite a lot bigger, but then I did kind of realize that it isn't that much. It's like 4% extra, so now it's like 54%.
Still good.
Yeah, I'm just sad Disengage is only on a 6.49 second cooldown now.
Well, they did talk about it in Warlords, saying that it might be on a no cooldown at all.
Yeah, there was those boots, weren't they? That dropped. We'll get like a tooltip up on the screen. Like they were talking about all the Ashran items that would drop, and most of the tooltips said, oh, this is from Ashran, whereas these boots didn't say that. But I imagine they're going to be there. But Disengage on has no cooldown. I imagine it will be on its own GCD because it is off the GCD.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that.
So if it has no cooldown, it'll have its own GCD. But surely you could, in theory, like fly.
I suppose.
You know, like in GTA 3, when you get a tank and shoot behind you with the fly cheat on, and you can just fly away. It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be so fucking dumb.
It would actually.
It'd be so good.
Same physics.
Yeah. So that's a thing, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of other things that came out in this patch.
These are things that were sort of under the sheets, weren't really noticed because everyone was too busy getting an erection over the new item level.
Yeah.
General Nazgrim on Raid Finder at 10% will no longer call extra ads. Apparently Nazgrim's a problem in Raid Finder. So
I don't know. Well, I can't say, oh, this is silliness, like it's Raid Finder.
I don't know. Like, it just seems a little bit odd. And also, this is a better one. Garish Hellscream in Raid Finder. Berserk is now 25 minutes up from 18.
How did that happen? How could you?
If I was in Raid Finder and I wiped to the Berserk,
24 minutes.
No, on 18 minutes, just on 18 minutes, which people are obviously doing. That's why they've increased the timer by 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
I'd be so fucking pissed.
You can, in theory, spend 25 minutes on this boss.
I feel really bad. I feel like we're kind of mocking people who do Raid Finder.
It's stupid, though. You can spend 25 minutes on this boss and die to the enrage. Oh, that would be so bad. I would be so angry. I would be so angry. But either way, I guess like people are gonna have an easier time on Garrosh, I guess. Like,
if it takes you 24 minutes to kill him,
yeah, well there you go. Like there is a lot of people going in there with like fucking dreadful gear, like timeless Isle gear and all that shebang, and they know fuck all. So like it's good that like at least you have a little bit more time to deal with it.
Yeah, and also in the patch, the achievement on the Timeless Soul, need a bigger bag.
What's that?
It's the achievement where you need to literally loot every single rare item on the entire island.
Oh, like off the frogs, you get the lily pad that gives you symbiosis.
But there's like 50 or more items, maybe 60 or 70. There's a ridiculous amount of items, and some of them like drop off rare spawns and are rare off the rare spawns.
Oh wow, okay.
So it can take you forever to loot it. They've changed this achievement now, so you can actually work on the achievement across your entire account.
Oh, that's nice.
So each individual character can merit towards the achievement when they loot something.
Exactly. So like you don't have to spend all your time on one character on the Timeless Isle waiting for everything. You can keep switching characters to like, I don't know, get your coins at the same time.
Exactly.
Or all that kind of stuff. That's awesome. That's really, really good news.
It's a good change because the achievement was fucking AIDS.
Yeah, it was.
I'm actually still working on my Shaman. I can't remember exactly how far I am on it. But obviously this is going to make it a lot easier.
Now, Lawrence, in other news, talking about what we're talking about with the whole like looking for raid and how the players, like some of the people who are boosting their characters, have fucking no idea what is going on. But Blizzard recently, what they've done is that they've actually released a video per class. For each class, they've released a little tutorial video.
I remember this.
The little crash courses for each video, and they're 2.5 minutes long. There's probably about 1.5 minute. The rest of it's like intro and outro for each one, and they've been getting a lot of slack. Like a lot of people that's going at it, they're not happy. They're like, this tells you nothing. These aren't useful at all. Blah 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 blah. But what do you think about it in the first place? Like, what do you think of the crash course videos?
Well, I mean, they're very, very basic.
Yeah, they are.
If you're someone who's been playing the game longer than, if you've been playing a single class for longer than a month, you're not going to learn anything.
No.
But if you're someone who hasn't played the game before, who is literally brand new to the game and has no idea what class they want to play, it gives them more of an idea than just the little shitty description that's on the character creation page that says, warriors are people who use shields and do chargy shit.
Yeah.
You can actually go watch these videos instead that WoW have put up.
Yeah.
I think they're good in that in that sense, but they're not fucking class guides.
Oh, definitely not. I think they're definitely crash course videos. They are literally like, this is a priest, this is the priest damage spec, you will use dot abilities, and you're kind of all shadowy and you use shadow orbs and shit. If you want to know more, just go fucking play it. That's pretty much it. So like, the only thing I'd say is that
they're almost selling the classes rather than teaching you the classes.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the whole point.
I think the problem is like a lot of people had a problem where it was say priest guide, but it will be only shadow priest, and it doesn't say that in the title and stuff, and there isn't other options for other specs. So say you did make a new hunter and you wanted to play BM, well, you look at that crash course video and it only teaches you about survival. So, like, a couple of people were angry about that, and I agree it would be good if like each spec had one, maybe, or it was just general for the class and maybe be slightly longer.
Well, I mean, WoW don't need to do that. They don't need to upload a guide. There's perfectly...
No, but I think it's still quite a good idea, because, like, the thing is, I think they might feel a little bit guilty at the moment, because they kind of released the level 90 boosts.
Oh, and
so many people have no idea what the fuck is going on. And because they haven't got the in-game tutorial thing at the moment, when you do boost to level 90... Because, you know, like, when you actually get into Warlords, there's going to be that whole little tutorial
So this
place.
is almost to deter the amount of people, like, making a brand new character they literally know fuck all about. At least this might give some of those players a little bit of knowledge, so there's a lot less people, there's less people ruining the LFRs.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it kind of helps with, like, the idea that we don't have that tutorial island place yet for the new level 90s. And, like, even Law, the guy who did all he did all the voiceovers for the videos and stuff like that, he was talking about it on Twitter, and he said that this is kind of aimed at people whose end game is killing yaks on Timeless Isle. Like, it is for the very, very basic, very, very new players who don't really know anything. So overall, I think it's a really positive step. I think it's going to, yeah, I think it's going to be useless for a hell of a lot of people, and a lot of people are going to take the piss. Like, and in all fairness, if you didn't really know what it was aimed at, then rightly so. Because if you thought that Blizzard were trying to talk to you, like, who's been playing like your Shadow Priest,
grader,
yeah, been playing your Shadow Priest for years, and it's just like, did you know you should use Shadow Word Pain? It's like, holy fuck, groundbreaking. But yeah, like, it's not for you. It's for brand new babby players. Yeah. So overall, I think it's a very good thing.
It's a good step, but again, they don't really, the people who are getting angry and they're like, well, this taught me nothing. If you want to see a full-fledged guide, then fucking search for it. There's hundreds out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Mike Breach WoW, for example. Look on his channel. You'll learn a fuck ton.
He does a lot of good guides as well. So, and of course, shit like Icy Veins and all those kind of places.
There's loads of people out there doing them. So
very good.
There we go. Now, talking about more WoW stuff, that's sort of being released to the community. They've released the idea of class accessories. This is one of the Artcraft concept posts on the WoW website, where they're talking about concepts for Warlords of Draenor, and they bring out this new concept of class accessories. So how are they going to work? What are they, Alex? What's their idea?
Basically, I think the idea is that they're like cosmetic items that are in game, so they don't have any effect or anything, but they're like quivers and like librams and maybe even totems, or somewhere like a little pocket where you can get your throwing knives out of. Like, it's kind of trying to hit two birds with one stone. It's trying to give you more character customization, as well as trying to make a little bit more sense in the game, because at the moment, like, a lot of people are like, well, look at this hunter. He has unlimited arrows from nowhere.
Yeah, he literally pulls them out of thin air.
Yeah, exactly. Or like same with throwing knives. Like, I don't even have throwing knives in my inventory. What do I do? Spawn them as a rogue? Like, what the fuck's going on?
So they're working on this idea that by having this actually on your character, cosmetically, there were even talks of using the old relic slot for this to work. Which they removed from the game before Miss. Actually, it's quite a while before. Actually, no. Yeah, it was just before Miss, because you used to have them in Dragon Soul. If you remember.
Did you?
Yeah.
Like, I can't fucking remember.
Yeah, you used to have the Librams and the Totem and the Idols for Druids and all that sort of shit. They're thinking about reusing that slot possibly for these, and this is like super early stages. They say that this might not happen at all, but this is just something that they're thinking about doing. They did actually give us some examples of how these things may look and how they may change as you level up.
Yeah, or like as you upgrade them or something like that.
Yeah, or you upgrade them or whatever. There is only Alliance previews so far, and of course it is just concept art. There is no in-game preview of it just yet. But what do you think about it, really? I mean, does it bother you?
Oh god, no.
I mean, extra character customization, I mean, in my opinion, is good.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything to make your character more unique than the other 7 million people that are playing this game, or 8 million people, or however many people fucking playing this game, is good. Because it makes you feel unique, it makes you feel like you're your own being, rather than just another sheep in the flock.
Yeah.
But really, it's not really that groundbreaking, is it?
Well, no, I think I do like the idea. Like, to be honest, it doesn't bother me that I have unlimited arrows or I'm throwing darts at my arsehole.
I mean, in a raid, you're fucking stood inside someone, usually.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, stack up. Like, one of the main mechanics in raids is stacking up, which means everyone get inside each other's hitbox.
Yeah.
You look like some sort of giant mutated blob with all these arms and legs and spells flying out your ass and everything. Like, it's absolutely nuts. So, like, to be honest, I think WoW doesn't need realism. There's so much things that like look wrong graphically in the game, like clipping with your armor, like with your cape going through mounts and all that kind of stuff. Like, there's a lot of little things like that.
It's not a big deal, but
it doesn't bother me. But like, that is in the game, so I think the fact like, where are these arrows coming from? It's not really a big deal for me. But I think it's nice anyway to have more character customization for people. As I said, like, there's nothing wrong with it, and I think it might make your character look quite cool.
To add to the game,
yeah. So why the fuck not? Like, no problems. Now, moving on to the part of the show, we look at our mail.
You guys know how it works. Send your mail to us on Facebook, Twitter, and on Twitch, and there's a chance you'll be featured in next week's show.
And the first one comes in from Ash on Facebook. He says, "Hey guys, love the guides and the show. Been a real help to me."
Hello, Ash.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Ash. Anyway, I've been benched by my guild for a few weeks while they try to run normals. I love my guild, and the people I play with are a great laugh, and I don't really want to risk pugging. How could I get off the bench and into the raid? Or should I look elsewhere? Any help would be much appreciated. Thanks, Ash.
Cheers for the question, Ash. Well, first, I think the thing really is, why are you benched?
What have you done, Ash? What did you do?
You're benched for either 2 reasons or 3 reasons. 1, there's someone who's better than you. 2, they don't need your class. Or 3, they hate you.
Now I'm going with number 3, Ash. Like, just from your message, I already hate you.
I can't think of many more reasons. Or, well, I suppose you could add the other reason that you don't need the gear that's dropping.
Or you're just not available for them. Like, you say, so like, if I was in a raid group and they raided 3 times a week and I could only come to 2 like raids of that 3-day week, then like they'll be like, nah, sorry, like there's no point bringing you because you're not even going to be able to be here for Thursday or whatever, you know. Like, so that could be an issue. That could be why they're benching you. Like, you got to really wonder, why are you being benched? Like,
yeah, I mean, if you find out the reason why you're benched, and then you can try and solve it. If it's because there's another role of your class in the raid already that outperforms you, then that's the problem. If I was being benched in a guild, then I'd do one or two things. I'd either leave the guild and find somewhere else, or I'd try and beat whoever's taking my position.
Yeah. I think that's a fair thing. Like, because you've got to remember, even though you do really like the people you're playing with and they're very, very nice and all that kind of shit, you've got to remember that you are paying for this game.
Yeah,
you do want... You
log on for yourself. You don't log on just to say to the people, oh, you're enjoying your raid, are you?
Yeah.
That's really nice.
And then you just sit in, like, your main city and doing fuck all.
And just typing, oh, how's the boss going?
Yeah, exactly. Like, you should go and find a place where you're actually, like, wanted. Yeah, and actually you get to do what you want to do. And if you do want to play the game just to sit on the bench, then fine. You're in the ideal place at the moment. Sure. But if you actually want to raid and you want to get on and you want to do things, then I would highly recommend going to a new guild.
And if that isn't the thing you want to do and you do want to stay in your guild, speak to your GM or your raid leader or whoever organises the raids. Work out exactly why you're being benched and then try and solve that problem. Is you're being benched because you're shit? Get better. If you're being benched because they don't like you, then tell them to fuck off and join a new guild.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you very much for that question, Ash.
Yeah. And the next question comes in from Mormon on Twitch, who says, "Sup, FatBoss.
Hello.
As legendary weapons might be coming back in Warlords of Draenor, what is your opinion on having them back, as well as having a possible legendary cape quest again? Thank you, and can we have the Ainsley emote already, please?" Yes, Ainsley's coming.
Yeah.
And Rub Your Meat is coming.
So that should be pretty good.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So that answers that question.
Moving away from that, I like, the first question I really want to cover is talking about the legendary cape quests. Like having the expansion long quest in which you get upgrades as you go along. Now, even though a lot of people bash it at the moment, because at the moment it's fucking terrible, but I think it was a good thing over the course of the expansion.
Yeah, I agree.
The only problem is the lack of catch-up. Like, like if you come back to the game, there's like next to no point of getting the legendary cape because it just takes so fucking long. It's just such a long thing to do. And like even doing it on ults, like at the moment I'm re-rolled a shaman just to do as like a little third ult project. I'm like nowhere in the legendary quest chain. It's going to take me fucking months to get it.
Yeah.
So it really, really sucks. So I think the main weaknesses of this legendary cape quest was that it was really hard to come back and it was really long if you weren't doing it at the time.
Yeah.
So like it feels to me that once you've like, so the next part of the quest comes out with the next patch, I think that the previous part of the quest like should be halved or even like made
which is what
tiny.
They tried to do, kind of. I mean, they halved the valor point requirement.
Yeah,
they did that at least, but that was a bit over the top. You needed to spend 6 weeks of valor capping.
Yeah, well, that was fine at the time.
It was fine at the time because there was nothing to do in those 6 weeks.
Yeah,
apart from just farm the content. But now that you're actually trying to progress and you know you've done your sigils and you want to start getting your rune stones and your secrets, but you have to get fucking valor.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's just not like.
I mean, Blizzard did actually touch on this, and they did say that if they was to do some sort of cape thing again, they would make it a lot easier for your ults.
Yeah,
which is a good thing. So I don't know if that means that they necessarily make them heirlooms, which is what they should have done in the first place.
Well, yeah, just made them.
They should have just made them heirloom.
Yeah, definitely.
Would have solved the problem immediately.
Well, just bind to battle attack. It doesn't have to like scale up like an heirloom would. Just scale like.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the fucking Garrosh ones or whatever. Which would have been pretty interesting, actually. If that scaled to like level 99 or something.
What, the cape?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be as fuck.
That would have been pretty sick.
But either way, yeah, I think that's what they just need to do. They just got to make it so. I think it's very good that it takes a long time while you're doing it because everyone has to take a long time. But the catch-up mechanics in it, like especially in this one, are fucking terrible, and they just need to be quicker. And that's what they should have taken on board, and I'm pretty sure they have, and then that's how it'll be for next expansion.
And, I mean, my personal problem with legendaries is that they should always feel legendary, and there's no real right way of doing it. Because how legendaries used to work is that they'd be completely random. They just drop.
Yeah.
So you could go into Molten Core, you could be the first time you kill Ragnaros with your guild, and you get a fucking eye.
Yeah.
And there'll be another guild that's been farming it for a year and hasn't had a single one. Now that's fucking bullshit. But now everyone can get fucking legendary. It's like, you know, although it does take you a long time and you have to devote quite a lot of your, you know, with your week to do it. I mean, you spend, what, 3-4 hours a week sometimes just getting your runestones or whatever. I mean, you have to spend a long time, but it doesn't really feel legendary when every fucker's walking around with it. Whereas before, if you had a legendary, you were the fucking dog's balls, man. You're the coolest guy. Like, even with Shadowmourne, I mean, that felt a little bit more legendary than the Cape.
Because it was class bound.
That was because it was class bound, which is also a bad thing, because then people only want to play that certain class.
And that class is OP.
And that class becomes OP, yeah. Think about Fury Warriors in ICC.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Fucking OP as shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's really, really difficult to touch on legendaries. But I think legendaries, as in what item they're going to be, I think weapons is coolest because they can have some sweet effects.
Yeah, definitely. Well, they managed to make a cloak do really random shit and a meta gem do really random shit. Imagine what they could do with a fucking weapon.
Weapons, I think you can do so much cooler things.
Yeah, definitely.
That make more sense. I mean, sure, you could have the same effect on any other item, but
yeah,
it makes more sense for a certain effect to be on a weapon.
Yeah, like when you actually hit, like...
And also, weapons are a little bit more visual than every other item. I mean, if you had, like, legendary rings, you're not going to see your fucking hands glow or anything like that. Whereas if you've got a weapon, you fucking, you know... It's obvious. You can see it a mile off. Holy shit, they're fucking blades of whatever the fuck they're called.
Yeah.
What are they called?
Blades of Azzinoth.
Yeah, whatever. You know, you can see them from a mile away. Or the Thunder Fury, you can see that a mile away.
Yeah.
Or Corrupt Dashbringer.
Yeah, so, yeah, I think that legendaries, they just need to be, like, in terms of the, they can't really be random anymore. People, like, it'll just ruin raid race.
Yeah, I don't think they'll ever be random, but...
I think that the quest just needs to be better for people who are either coming back or alts.
I think they should make it completely skill-based. And I think they should make it reliant on your guild.
How can you do skill-based legendary?
Well, make it mythic-only raiding. You can only get your legendary through doing mythic.
Yeah,
don't give it to every fucker under the sun. Make people work for it. And don't make it so you can get it before progression starts. Make it so you get it when progression is over. Or when you're, like, it's months into the tier. Pretty much like what they did with the meta gem in TOT. Like the meta gem in TOT, no one got that until like progression was over, unless you was a guild that was in, I don't know, instead of being in top 100, you're in top 500 or something like that, or after that. So I think that's a really great way of doing it. Yeah, actually, yeah, I do agree with you. So interesting stuff nonetheless. But thanks for all your questions, guys. And again, if you would like to be featured in next week's show, then please do send in your mail to us on Facebook, Twitter, or on Twitch. And we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thank you.